Let's talk about what's happening to Judge Cannon, because our mutual friend and colleague, Andy McCarthy, has a long piece up on nationalreview.com right now suggesting Jack Smith may get booted out of this Mar-a-Lago prosecution because of the way that he was appointed. Trump's lawyers raised the case that this is the way Jack Smith was appointed as special counsel was a violation of the Constitution's Appointments Clause, which says that the president is the one who shall nominate, by and with consent and advice of the Senate, any basically officer of the United States. And he goes on to say that Jack Smith was not chosen or appointed by the president. He was appointed by Merrick Garland, and there may be a serious problem with his selection in this particular case that actually, Andy says, has a very good chance, in his view, of succeeding. So do you agree that there's a real chance here Jack Smith could get bounced off of that prosecution?
Yeah, I wrote about this today because a lot of the criticism was about that hearing. And the argument from the left, including an MSNBC legal analyst, gave Judge Cannon a lecture saying, "Stay in your lane, girl. You should never have given a hearing. Other courts have ruled against this." And yes, other courts have ruled against this, but there's no controlling authority for Judge Cannon. This has never gone to the Supreme Court. So what she's doing is normally viewed as good judging. She's allowing the party to make the best argument, including, by the way, two former attorneys general who are there as amicus, and to create a record so that this can be appealed potentially to the Supreme Court. And what they're arguing is not frivolous. And MSNBC, CNN are portraying this like it's some kooky idea. It's not. The Constitution says clearly that you need to be appointed or nominated and then confirmed to be U.S. attorney. You have to either have that type of confirmation or you have to have an appointment pursuant to a statute. Neither of that is present here. The Independent Counsel Act expired. And so what the Department of Justice is saying is that despite the act expiring, they can basically circumvent the need for confirmation in the Senate. And this is precisely why the framers wanted confirmation. Would Jack Smith have been confirmed as a type of special U.S. attorney? Not sure about that. You know, he was reversed unanimously by the Supreme Court. That would have bothered a lot of senators. But the question is, why have this system where to be a U.S. attorney, you've got to go through vetting, you've got to be not just nominated, but confirmed, or Garland can just pick a guy off the street according to his claim of authority. He could pick anyone. He could pick his barber and make him a special counsel, and you can't say anything about it. That doesn't sit well with the language of the Constitution. So while the odds are against the Trump team because of these previous arguments, those judges summarily dismissed these issues. I mean, most of them did not grant a hearing. They decided on the pleadings, and Judge Cannon is simply allowing oral argument to occur in this case. And yet everyone is attacking her for doing it.
It's really crazy. If he goes, the case doesn't necessarily go away, but he's in real jeopardy now. And I know the thing about Merrick Garland is, remember when we used to think he would have been a decent choice for Supreme Court given the others that Barack Obama was considering, right? It was like on a relative field. Okay, Merrick Garland seems like he wouldn't be that extreme. I see him very differently now. And I read your piece the other day saying, I think it was called The Corruption of Merrick Garland. I mean, that you too see serious problems in the way this guy has approached his role.
Absolutely. You know, I actually called for a vote in the Senate on Garland. I felt that he was entitled to it. I enthusiastically supported his nomination for Attorney General, and I was wrong. I mean, I hate to say it, but he's not the Garland that most of us thought we were getting. He seems to be adrift in his own department. He's not taking responsibility. He's washing his hands of everything happening in these investigations, including that gag order from Smith. The Attorney General should at a minimum say, you know what, we don't do that. Okay, we don't do gag orders to keep people from criticizing us. And when Jack Smith said, I don't think I have to follow the DOJ policy on trials before an election. I think I could take this trial through the election. Garland was totally silent instead of saying, here's a flash for you, Gordon. You're still part of the Justice Department. And you are going to honor that policy. But Garland is just absent without leave. And it's a great disappointment to me, because I think as a person, he's a nice and well-meaning person. But he is an empty suit right now at justice.
Yeah, I haven't forgiven him since Domestic Terrorist. That was just so insane, with the parents who are speaking past their 3 minutes and then got a label like that thrown around in discussing their behavior. Do you ever think, how can I work this hard and still be in debt? The piles of overdue bills, the threatening phone calls, and never having money to do anything. It just won't stop. If you are trapped in debt, Done with Debt can be a way out. They have developed aggressive new strategies to end your debt permanently. Done with Debt stands between you and your harassing bill collectors. They tirelessly negotiate with your creditors to lower or even forgive what you owe. They do it all without bankruptcy or new loans. One client said, "One phone call saved us a fortune. I wish we did this long ago." Done with Debt has unique strategies to get you out of debt faster and put even more money in your pocket every month. But you need to hurry, because some debt solutions are time sensitive and you don't want to miss out. Visit donewithdebt.com. Talk with one of their debt relief strategists for free, and you have nothing to lose except your debt. Go to donewithdebt.com. That's donewithdebt.com. Thanks so much for watching. If you like what you just saw, hit the subscribe button for more clips and full episodes.